What's up, everyone? Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. Today we are talking Mizzou football and their new 10-game schedule. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to this channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So, Missouri found out that it's 9th and 10th games yesterday, and it's not pretty for Missouri. The new games are a home game against Alabama and a road trip to Baton Rouge to play the defending champions, LSU. It's almost impossible to have a harder draw than that. Missouri fans, some anyway, will be very quick to say that the SEC was out to screw Mizzou over and they're just taking care of the big boys and this, that, and the other. Pay attention to the rest of this video. It makes sense. It's going to be okay. I promise. The reason is simple. Missouri's schedule was soft to begin with. If you look at the annual schedule for the SEC East, well, it's the SEC East to begin with. So that's easier than the SEC West by default. Then you look at Missouri's permanent cross-division rival. That's Arkansas. That is as close to a free win as you are ever going to find in conference play. And then this year, the rotating cross-division team was Mississippi State, who is either 5th or 6th, probably, in the SEC West. That's really easy. So, it only makes sense that Missouri would have hard teams added. And there were only 5 to choose from. There was Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. Those 5. Well, Missouri played Ole Miss last year. So now you're down to 4. And you're already choosing 2 of them. So, Missouri kind of knew what was coming. Then if you look at, you take a look at the rest of the SEC. If you look at the SEC East, and you've got, let's look at Georgia, for example. They got Mississippi State and Arkansas added to their schedule, right? The 2 teams Missouri was already playing. Well, they got those 2 teams added because they were already playing Alabama and Auburn. So that is almost the exact same setup as Missouri. Trading Auburn and LSU, I'd say Missouri has a little bit harder schedule, but that's pretty even. Let's see, another team. If you look at, let's take a look at Florida. Playing LSU and Ole Miss. One really hard game, one not so hard game. They were given Arkansas and then at A&M. It makes sense. If you take a look at Missouri's 4 SEC West opponents, you've got the 2 top teams, LSU and Alabama. You could argue who's 1, who's 2, but they're the top 2. And then you have Arkansas, who's the clear 7th. Then you have Mississippi State, like I said, 5th, maybe 6th, one of the 2. If you take those rankings as numbers, 1, 2, call it 5, and 7, add it up, average it out, it's almost perfect 4, right in the middle. Average. It adds up. And fairness is all anybody's looking for. And frankly, you have to remember the circumstances. It bears repeating, we're in a worldwide pandemic and everybody's making this up basically on the fly. So to have this system, it's not bad. And honestly, there's no expectations for Missouri football to begin with. It's Coach Eli Drinkwitz's first year. The team was 6-6 last year. No one's expecting anything, especially with all of the COVID-19 stuff going on. Coach Drinks had 2-3 practices to see his team, and he's supposed to go play a game in a month and a half? That's crazy. But here we are. So, all that to say, it's one gigantic opportunity. What if Missouri goes out and beats Alabama? Or LSU? Or, let's get crazy, what if they beat them both? I know it's almost certainly not going to happen, but gosh, what if? Like I said, it's an opportunity. Because with 10 games, all of which are from the conference, there are no freebies. Except maybe Arkansas. So, what are you looking at? 3 wins? Maybe 4? 500 with this schedule is an accomplishment. So, hopefully Missouri fans will adjust their expectations and know that 5-5 is major progress. We will see what happens with the schedule and what happens with Missouri fans' expectations. That's it for talking about Mizzou and their schedule. Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time.